Hi, hello, welcome back. This is part 3 of my 10 years of freelancing series, where I am sharing the 10 most impactful, valuable lessons that I have learned as a freelancer for the last decade. And today we're really going to get into biggest mindset and money shifts I had to make in order to grow to 6 figures annual revenue, which took me, I think I hit that at the 4-year mark. Some people hit that far sooner. I was not one of those people. I started my business as a 23-year-old with zero knowledge of running a business. I had 1 year as a professional graphic designer working in an office for somebody else before I went freelance and started working for myself. And then that kind of pivoted into teaching and mentoring other designers. And then it pivoted into doing more content creation. And now here I am as more of a freelance coach and online visibility mentor. It's been quite the journey. But all that to say, I know you hear a lot about these overnight success stories. And I just want to make it so clear to you that that was not me. I really think it's just been the consistency and the drive to keep going even when I don't know what I'm doing or I feel like things are not working or going well, just staying the course. If you missed parts 1 and 2, we talk about boundaries and managing boundaries with clients, money mindset, pricing strategies, market research, content creation. We covered a lot of things. So if you haven't watched those videos yet, be sure to check those out. I will make sure to link them down below. But now without further ado, let's get into lesson 8. Here's the thing. You are not going to believe me, but I promise you, you do not need a huge audience online to be highly profitable as a service-based business, as a content creator, as a creative on the internet. You don't need a big following. For example, just from content creation alone, I have made over $60,000 in brand deals for the last 2 years with under 10,000 followers on Instagram. I have a whole video about that I will also link below. So if you're wanting to monetize the content that you're creating, that's a great place for you to learn about how to do it. But also, I sold an online course that brought in over $100,000 in revenue over a few years' time. And I have worked with clients all over the world. My business has brought in over $100,000 in revenue every single year for the last 6 or 7 years. And I don't have a giant following anywhere. So my largest following is on TikTok, and I've actually let that die in the last couple of years as I started having babies. I just didn't have time to manage it. And Instagram and now YouTube have become my platforms that I'm actually focusing on, but nowhere online do I have a huge following. And the platform I make the most money on is Instagram, where I have less than 10,000 followers. What I need you to focus on instead is maximizing the audience you already have and making sure that the audience you are attracting is fully aligned with the services or products that you are selling. What I mean by that is I want you to go back to, I believe it's video 1, maybe video 2 of this series, where I talk in depth about market research. This is going to be your best friend. It is the only way you're going to be able to speak directly to the followers you already have, really nurture them, really make them feel seen and heard and understood, because that is all people are looking for in the people they're following online. And then once they know that you understand them and have some sort of solution to something they're experiencing, you are going to be top of mind for who they're going to buy from in order to fix that scenario in their life. If you have any questions about this, leave them down below. I will also link my client attraction starter kit and a case study of how 3 posts have generated over $10,000 in revenue for my business. Both of those things are free. They'll help you monetize the audience you already have. I don't need you to go viral. I need you to speak directly to the audience that you currently have and help them with what problems or challenges they're facing. Overall, the size of your audience matters far less than how well you can communicate your offer. Quality beats quantity every time. And with quality, you're going to start bringing in quantity too. Don't worry about the followers, worry about the ones you already have. All right, lesson 9 is all about finding your unique voice and actually feeling confident showing up as you, as a human being, and not some pretend scripted version of yourself because you feel like you have to act a certain way online, in photos, in content, in videos, in copy you write. People want to follow and connect with other human beings on the internet. So if you're acting like this fancy schmancy polished person that wears blazers, is like hoity-toity, and that's not actually you, that's going to come across in your content, whatever the deliverable is, whether it's written, video, photos, doesn't matter. Your ideal audience isn't going to connect with that. You want to find people who connect with you and your brand voice. I want you to get really clear about like, what is your personality? What is your brand's personality? It doesn't have to be the version of you that you are with your best friend if that doesn't fit your brand vibe, but it does need to not be generic and boring and sound the same as everyone else. The more you can stand out for your personality, your brand's personality, like what makes you unique in your overall brand persona that you're portraying on the internet, the more people are going to connect with that. I remember when I first started freelancing, I thought I needed all of these like really fancy professional photography. I thought I needed to look a certain way in order to be taken seriously. And that was partially like my own insecurity with having very little experience and no idea what I was doing. And also I was 23. So I was like, nobody's going to take me seriously. That was not true. And also a mindset shift that I had to come and pull apart. But once I started taking brand photos that like actually felt like me and was wearing clothes in them that I actually would have worn, and started making a brand that felt more fun and different and colorful, wrote copy on my website that sounded like things that I would actually say. And then after all of that, started creating content, talking to camera in my brand voice, which my brand voice is very much my voice. It's like how I talk, with maybe a little less swearing than I would do in my normal day-to-day life, a little more brand friendly on the internet, but it's like fun and quirky and very much me. And the more I've leaned into that, easier it's been to book clients, to grow a following online, to get brands to want to pay me to create content for them, because it's not boring. It's not stale. It's interesting. It's different. People want to watch when it doesn't feel like a performance. I want you to turn off your customer service voice. I don't want you talking to the camera like you would talk to like the AT&T person on the phone selling you Wi-Fi, or when you call the doctor's office and have to schedule an appointment. I don't want that voice. I want the voice you use to talk to other humans in a fun social setting, okay? Or at least a version of that. And same with how you dress and how you show up. If you need to look like fancy and more polished because that's the type of brand vibe you're going for and that's what your ideal clients and customers want to see from you, fine, but make it you, okay? Make it you, make it your brand. You get to decide how you want to show up, and the more that it feels authentic to you, the more your audience is going to connect with it and feel like they are connecting with a human instead of a business. And that matters so much, especially right now as AI is just exploding and going to continue to explode. The more human you can make your content, your brand, your online persona easier and faster to grow your business in whatever capacity you're trying to do that. Now, last but not least, lesson 10, and that is revenue generating tasks always come first in my business. This has actually been incredibly challenging for me to enforce, and I'm not proud of that. I have ADHD. A lot of you watching probably do too. That seems to be a trend among people that I attract online. It's really easy for me to get sucked down rabbit holes of tasks that don't really matter, tasks that feel fun and don't require like a ton of brain power behind them, and putting off tasks that do require brain power when those are the ones that actually are going to generate me money. I guess what I'm saying is I'm really good at finding ways to feel busy in my business. And I do think that that's a huge mindset shift too, because it does feel like if I feel like I'm constantly working and doing all these tasks and I'm always busy and I'm working on X, Y, and Z, if I don't make money, I can't be like, well, it's not because I wasn't working. When in actuality, I wasn't working on the tasks that I knew would bring me more money because of a multitude of reasons. It could be a self-confidence issue. It could be a self-trust issue. It could be like, I want this next level of income, but my nervous system isn't regulated enough to believe that I deserve that or believe that I can handle that. There are so many things that can go into that, but I guarantee you, you are doing tasks that actually don't matter, that are not moving the needle forward, and you're avoiding the ones that you know need to happen, that will generate you revenue, but those require more brain power, more quiet, focused energy. They're not as fun. There's a multitude of reasons as to why you're avoiding them, but I guarantee you there's something you're avoiding that you know is a money generating task, but instead you're updating your website for the 16th time. And your website probably is fine. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money with really ugly websites. So while all of the tasks might be important, probably 20% of the tasks are going to bring in 80% of your revenue. So I want to make sure that you are focusing on that 20% and letting the other 80% of tasks be outsourced, be pushed off to when you just have some spare time, or just let them go. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. Okay. If you need a little bit of a framework to help you decide if this task is worth my time, there's 4 questions that I'll ask myself. Does this task actually make my business money? And if the answer is yes, is it now or later money will be coming in from this task? 2, can it be outsourced to a VA, to an editor, to somebody who does that task? 3, does it require my expertise? If not, then refer to go outsource it. And 4, if I don't do it, will my business even notice? There are several tasks that probably would be no. Nobody will notice if I just don't do that. Those 4 questions have saved me countless hours in my business, and there is so much more important now than ever before. I have a full video about how I work 15 hours a week and still run a business that brings in 6 figures of revenue. I'll link that as well. But this has really changed the game for me and something that I'm still always working on. But I promise you, it's worth it. Really audit where you're spending your time. And are they on the tasks that maybe are a little outside your comfort zone, but you know will bring in revenue? Or are they just like the safe, fun, easy, busy work tasks that probably aren't moving the needle forward? Might be eye-opening what you realize once you really sit down and think about it. And there you have it. Those are the 10 biggest lessons I have learned from 10 years of freelancing. I hope this series has brought you a lot of clarity, maybe saved you from making several mistakes that I have made in the past, or just given you some aha moments of like, oh, maybe I should rethink how I'm doing X, Y, or Z. Let my lessons be your guide so that you don't have to learn these the hard way like I did. Let me know in the comments which of these 10 lessons you resonated with the most. I would love to hear from you, or even better, go say hi on Instagram. I'd love for you to slide into my DMs or say hey in my comments. Genuinely love connecting with you guys. And thank you so much for joining me in this special anniversary series, Freelance-iversary, if you will. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.